F88. There are older designs that are still flying, but actually that airframe is the oldest airworthy jet in the world. The F86 Sabre is a fantastic study. Putting together new technologies and trying to make them work. Right after the end of the Second World War, we had a lot of German research on swept wings, and we had all the British research and German research on jet engines. And they came together, and people knew that there was the potential here for remarkably increased performance in a jet swept wing aeroplane. And this aircraft certainly exhibits that extreme jump in performance over the big piston engine fighters. However, they had all these aerodynamic tricks, the swept wing, they had the jet engine, and they certainly got phenomenal performance. But when it came to a control system, they thought, well, what should we do? And they decided that they kind of put on something that was a bit like they'd been putting on the big piston engine fighters. And having had the privilege of flying this marvellous aeroplane on many occasions and displaying it here at Warden, I can tell you that although Mark's making it look very easy for us here today, it's not the sweetest handling aeroplane in the world. In fact, in many ways, it's really quite a handful. The ailerons were given hydraulic boosting, but unlike the clever systems that came later, where you get, for a little bit of aileron, you get a little bit of boost, a little bit more aileron, you get a little bit more boost. You either get no boost or you get all of it, and it comes in like a step change at about 1 inch of aileron, about 1 inch of stick deflection. And although it's manageable when you're flying around solo like this, if you're flying in formation, it can be really quite a handful. The other thing about the aircraft, you'll notice it's got a black trail out of it all the time, and that's evidence of the fact that this is a very early generation of jet engine. It's not very efficient. The one in this aircraft actually gives you a lot of thrust and a lot of performance, but it's not very efficient in terms of burning fuel, and it's not very easy to live with in terms of a pilot. These days in things like the Eurofighter Typhoon, we've just got a lever, a throttle, and you just wang it around. Demand what thrust you want from the engine, and the engine copes with your outrageous demands. In this aeroplane, the pilot sat in the cockpit is the fuel control unit. And a consequence of that is the aeroplane is ever so easy to what we call overtake. You've got too much fuel into the engine for the speed of the engine, and you just create huge temperatures in the turbine section of the engine.